Let's just face it, EDC gear is expensive, but it doesn't have to be. USA made EDC gear is also expensive, but it also doesn't have to be. So can you make an EDC for under $100 that is 100% made in the US? And the answer to that is yes, but it's not like what you're going to be used to. If you are into EDC, you probably have a standard of what to have and what not to have. And after my go at this, it is a very, let's just say, it's a minimal setup. But I do want to give a shout out to Maxlvledc EDC before I get into it. I watched a video on his version of this recently. Definitely inspired me. So let's just get right into it. All right, so jumping right into it, we have the pen. This is a Paka pen from Paka. So I got this from River's Edge Cutlery. I was able to buy the pen at $2.95, and then the clip that came separately was $3.25. So altogether, for $6.20, this is not a bad option at all. It's very much like a Fisher Space pen. It is a lot lighter. I think it writes just as well. So you open it up, put that end right there, and then you write something, Paka pen. You know, it's not great. It's not bad though. I mean, like I haven't written much with this, so it's not going to be perfect all the time. But for $6, it's definitely a lot cheaper than, the stuff from other companies. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my Big Idea Design pens. They are amazing. I carry one every day. I use it every day. Tactile Turn makes amazing pens. But the name of the game in this video is items under, a complete EDC under $100. And so for $6.20, you can't beat that. It's got the clip. It won't float around in your pocket. It is easily replaceable if you do lose it, because again, it's $6.20. So that is our pen that we got. Moving right along, we are going to go to the Pry Bar. Now, I was trying not to use the same items as Maxlvledc EDC's video, but the reality is it's just going to be really hard to find, good quality stuff that's made in the US, at a good price point. But I wanted to change it up in the sense of I got a 2-inch Pry Bar from Nutsac, but this is the curved version. So I believe he got the straight one. I went for the curved. Reason mainly is because they didn't actually have the straight, but I did also want to be a little bit different. But yeah, it is a very basic Pry Bar. This will go really good on a keychain, the 2-inch version, and it is very basic in nature. You have the prying end, you have a nail nick right here, and then you also have another cutout right here for another nail. So what I mean by that is, let's say you pry out a nail head with this end right here. You get that leverage because it's curved. You're going to get more leverage when you're prying items out. You pry it, and then you're going to put the nail head, if it fits, into this little notch right here. Pull it forward so it sits. The nail head is touching the this side of the Pry Bar, and then you get more leverage to pull out. So $15. I got this at River's Edge, and everything will be linked down below. But yeah, I don't think you're going to get much better than this. If you can, let me know. But this would be a good item to have on a keychain. And what you're going to notice with these items is actually, I noticed this as I received everything. This is a very minimalist style EDC. It wasn't what I was going for, but that's how it turned out. So you have these two very small and pocketable items right here. You have your pen and your Pry Bar. And next we are going to move on to the wallet. All right, next the wallet is going to be from North Star Leather. Here is their card right here. I got this for $6.95. This is a 4-card holder wallet made in the US in South Carolina. So I think for the price at $6.95, that's a really good deal for a genuine leather wallet. It's going to hold your cards. And for me personally, I don't carry a ton of cash anymore. So a card holder is going to be more what I lean towards than like a traditional bifold or trifold style wallet. They do have, I almost got a bifold that has an ID card holder, but it was about $17. So in order to save a little bit, I opted for this, but for $6.95, it's really good. I mean, again, super thin. It says it holds 4, it, holds up to 4, but I can definitely see fitting two more cards in there. Leather will expand to whatever is inside of it. So if you put more, the leather will conform around it. That's just how it works, but it's nice. I will use this because I don't have a black leather wallet. I usually go for like a brown, a dark brown or something like that. So having a nice black leather, even if, just it being a card holder, will be nice to have on occasions where I, need to dress up, to go to a wedding or, go to a formal event or something like that. So North Star Leather, check them out. They have a lot of good items at good prices, I would say. So I will link them down below as well. All right, moving on to the flashlight. This one was hard. I'll just put it that way. Again, I wasn't trying to copy Maxlvledc's video, but the reality is you're not going to really find a good flashlight that is made in the US under, honestly, $100. Most USA made flashlights are going to be well above that. And for good reason. I'm not saying that they're not worth it. They are. I mean, I want an Okluma flashlight so bad. I just can't afford that, right? So I went with the Maglite Mini. Again, just this is a good flashlight, and the reason why I say it's problematic is because the LED bulb in there is imported, I believe, from China, and so yes, it is made in the U.S. In California, but that item right there, you can see it in there, that is imported. But I mean, for $19, this is a great flashlight. It's super bright. It is 100 lumens. And that's for just general, like looking around for stuff in dark places. 100 lumens is great. I don't need it to light up the night sky. I need to be able to just see my dog at night when he's out taking a dump, for $19, this is going to be the largest piece of gear in this video as far as like it's long, but it is light and it is skinny. So you can make whatever joke you want about that. But I think it, again, still fits the vibe of like a minimalist style carry. It takes 2 AAAs, so you're not getting those crazy batteries that you have to recharge or anything like that. Just replace them with some AAAs and just keep on moving. But now if you're asking like where did I find out this information though, going back to the LED bulb and stuff like that, there's a website, I'll link it down below, called allamerican.org, and that's where you can research and find out are products made in the US, which companies are, which companies aren't, things like that. So that's where I was able to find out about the light bulb. The incandescent bulbs in Maglites, it made it sound like if it has an incandescent bulb, it is made in America 100%, but it didn't say that outright. So based on how things were worded, that just leads me to believe that they are, and that the ones with LEDs aren't. But, for $19, it is what it is. So that is our flashlight. And moving on to our last piece of gear, we have the knife. All right, so before we get there, let me just rearrange some stuff. Now, with knives that are made in the U.S., there are actually a lot of good options out there for under $50, right? You have good options at $40, and I think you have good options in the $30 range. Those companies are going to be mostly like Buck knives and case knives. There are some really good Kershaws out there. I almost picked a Kershaw Leak just because, that one's classic. I remember going to Academy Sports years ago and looking at leaks and wanting to buy one, but, not having, I think it was like $50. I did, couldn't justify it. And even, having $50 now, that would have busted the $100 budget on this video. So I opted for something actually really different. I don't see a lot of people putting this in gear list or anything like that, but I decided to go with the Leatherman Skeletool KB. So this is essentially a knife that is a skeletal that they made into a single blade, right? So very much just looks like a skeletal, has a pocket clip just like the skeletal, has a bottle opener. So something you didn't see in the Pry Bar, which a lot of Pry Bars, that's almost like standard for any Pry Bars to have a bottle opener. You still get that because it's a Leatherman. But yeah, this is a very light, very small, very compact knife. So if you are, again, going back to that almost minimal vibe, this would be right up your alley if that's what you're looking for. It weighs 1.3 ounces. It is 2.6 inches long in the blade. It is 3.45 inches closed, and it has a 420 HC blade. Again, that's pretty much standard for all Leatherman knives, minus your charge that has an S30V blade, and then your new Magna Cut Leatherman Arc. But after making my previous Leatherman video of a product that a lot of people are saying is overpriced, why not throw in a Leatherman that is very affordable at $39.95? So this is the most expensive piece in the whole setup. But I think this is actually pretty undervalued as far as this is a good little knife. I mean, look, in the world of super steels and all that stuff, 420 HC will cut, it will sharpen, it'll cut again, and you'll sharpen it again. But if you're not doing a lot, if you just need to open some packages, I think this is a good option. S30V is a good option. That's still a good blade steel. So I wouldn't knock on 420 HC. Again, a lot of those knives in that $50 or less range are going to be 420 from what I saw, especially a lot of those buck knives. They're going to be in that 420 category as far as blade steel. But I think for the price, this is a good knife, and this is going to complete my under $100 EDC setup. Now, getting into the totals before taxes, so all of this right here that you see comes in at $88.09. After taxes and shipping, though, we still come in under $100 at $93.68. Now, if you had an extra $40-50 to spend, or you wanted to spend an extra $40-50, here's what I would suggest you do. Right? I would replace not the knife. A lot of people would be like, I want to spend an extra $40 and replace the knife with something better. I get that. That's fair, but I wouldn't do that personally. I would upgrade the wallet. Not to say that this wallet isn't good, but we could go with something that gives us a little bit more organization, and I would replace the wallet with the Art Company USA Boulder. This is a fantastic, organizer and wallet. And so what that allows you to do is, you put your knife, take your knife, put it in here, take your pen, put it in here, right? So you have that. That is all three items living in one space in your pocket, right? Pry bar is already on your keychain, so ignoring that. So all you have in your pockets, gear-wise, not other random junk you might carry, but you have your wallet with your knife and your pen, and you have your flashlight. And I think organization, I would rather have better organization of my stuff than necessarily a better knife, because I don't want a bunch of stuff just floating around in my pockets, if that makes sense. And you might be the opposite of that. You might be like, nope, always a better knife than anything else. I'll deal with, stuff hanging out in my pockets, whatever. That's totally fine. But me personally, I would rather have it organized in my pocket, and then everything just be comfortable. And what you could also do if you're a crazy person is you shift this pen over, and you can get it in here because it's so long and skinny. You can fit it in there. But you could do that if you are a crazy person. That's just a lot hanging out. But you could do that as well. And that's going to wrap up this video. Let me know what you would do, what you would change. How would you make this EDC your own? Again, $100, it's doable, but made in the USA, 100% for under 100, it gets tricky. So if you have any suggestions on what you would change out of this, I know the knife is probably the most interchangeable of all of these. Let me know down below, and I'm still on the lookout for an EDC flashlight that is reasonably priced, that is made in the US 100%. So if you know something like that, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, but we'll see you in the next one.